Good evening, my friends. Welcome to Hilbert's Laboratory, the Ghost Story Room.
Good evening, my friends. Now I want to tell you a story called Seeing Red Eyes at Night in Maine, from Netizen Starbird. Explored and improved by ghost story professionals. To provide some context, the first time this occurred was several years ago when I was about 13 or 14 years old. I reside in a remote location. I live across from an orchard, with one home on a tiny hill above us next door and another somewhat below us on the other side of our house, as well as a big forested area just back our house. The home above us next door is divided by a row of trees. We can still see each house, but there are definitely trees, and the road is about 20 to 25 feet, maybe 30 feet from the front of each house. It was night, so the outdoors was completely black. We don't have street lights where we live because it's a rural region. We have a grape arbor at the center of our property. I can actually stand on our deck and gaze up to the home above us, and the top of the grape arbor is just below ground level with the portion of land their house is on. Behind the arbor is some lawn and garden, followed by the tree line, with a large tree between our grape arbor and our neighbor's mailbox, which has red reflecting discs. Blocked by the tree, you can't even see their mailbox, so I know what I saw was not those reflective discs. It was dark, like pitch black dark, and I had just opened our kitchen door to let our dog outside to use the restroom, and the motion light came on because of the door. And my dog refused to step outside. All he would do was stare outside at our neighbor's mailbox. I thought, okay, this is Maine. Does he see a raccoon, a fox, or one of the neighbor's cats? No, I looked up and saw these two glowing red eyes above the grape arbor, closer to the thick tree that blocks our neighbor's mailbox view. I thought, maybe it's just an owl or something, I'm not sure. I tilted my head, and it copied me, the eyes tilted to match my movement, then blinked. Our motion light only reached 5 feet past the deck, so I had no idea what it was because I couldn't see anything beyond it. My dog freaked out, with claws scrambling against the tile floor, snarling and barking as he ran deeper into the house, and my natural reaction is to look down when my dog freaks out. When I looked back up, it was standing just out of sight of the light, perhaps another 6 feet beyond it. So much closer, the eyes were level with my own, and I'm still standing in the door. The deck is a good foot off the ground, and the door has a step leading up, so that's 2 feet right there, and I'm about 5 feet, maybe 5 feet too. The red dots, or eyes, were level with my head. I had no idea what it was at the time. I just slammed the door shut and locked it before going to my room and pretending I hadn't seen anything. Fast forward a few years, and approximately 3 days ago, I noticed a tapping noise when it became dark. I checked the glass, nothing was there, and the tapping had ceased. Another time, I swear I heard my father calling, so I called out back and asked what he wanted, but there was no answer. I look out the window at the driveway, and his work truck is still gone, he's not home. I recently came upon something I used to do as a child. Red eyes, but this time close to the trail leading into the woods. I closed my blinds, made sure the doors were locked, and turned off the lights, and then, I think, said, nope, didn't see that. No one's home, you got the wrong address, farewell mindset, I suppose. I'm curious about what I saw, the red eye stuff. I can deal with spooky sounds just fine, they don't worry me. But it's the eyes, the red eyeballs that appear to be about 7 feet above the ground, that creep me out. If anyone has any idea what I could have seen, I would greatly appreciate it, because now I just don't bother looking out the windows when it's dark, because I believe that if you don't see it, it's not there, but some of the windows on this house do not have blinds or shades, and they are the ones in the kitchen that face the woods. It worries me out since I usually feel watched at night when I'm in the kitchen and those windows. Those windows are on the top story, the basement door and windows are located below them. It's a 2-story plunge from those kitchen windows. I'd really appreciate it if someone could tell me what I saw because I don't like it and want it gone. I want it to be gone like 6 years ago, so simply. Any feedback is appreciated at this time. The second story is from our friend Sandy, also professionally rewritten after being researched by ghost story experts. This house, which I once lived in a little town in Maine, was older. I don't know much about its past, and I doubt I'll ever find out, but it was an older house. We had a basement and 4 rooms, in the typical old house design. The kitchen is where most of the abnormal behaviors would occur. Our front door had an entry along with another door, a strong wooden door with a glass pane. The way the door sat, you'd have to push hard to open it, and then you'd be on a little porch that led to the front entrance. Quite frequently, the front door would swing open but the outside door remained closed. You could sit in the living room and observe our kitchen light turn on and off. We had an old kitchen light with a fluorescent bulb and a metal pull string. It turned on after you pulled the string. My mother attached a piece of yarn to the metal string so that we could reach it. You could watch the string being pulled. This happened every night, and we quickly became used to it. My family and I had always assumed that the presence was of an elderly lady. We don't know why we felt that way. We used to go to bed with the windows open and the blankets off because it was hot in the middle of the summer. We would wake up with our windows closed and wrapped in blankets. We had discussed it with my parents several times, and they said we were at that age, so they didn't need to check on us. We were never scared by anything, it all seemed normal to our friends. But one day, and I will never forget this, my mother went to turn on the kitchen light with the yarn at the end of it. She went to turn it on and was so shocked that she collapsed to her knees. Now, I am not sure, but I am almost certain that you cannot be electrocuted by yarn. We eventually relocated. We assumed she liked to play with us because she appeared to enjoy teasing us.